Hey there, story seekers. Welcome back to the channel where history isn't just dates and dusty books. It's alive, human, and full of drama, dreams, and daring decisions. Today, we're stepping into a sweltering summer in Philadelphia, 1787, a time when 13 fragile states stood on the edge of collapse or creation. This is the story of how the United States didn't just survive its infancy, but reinvented itself with words that would echo for centuries. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's journey back to the birth of the U.S. Constitution. It was May of 1787, and the air in Philadelphia hung thick with humidity and tension. Inside the Pennsylvania State House, now known as Independence Hall, 55 men from 12 of the 13 American states had gathered under strict secrecy. Rhode Island, distrustful of centralized power, refused to attend. The windows were shut tight, curtains drawn not to keep out the heat, but to keep in their debates. What they were about to do was risky, even revolutionary. Scrap the failing Articles of Confederation and draft an entirely new framework for government. Just for years after winning independence from Britain, the young United States was teetering on the brink. The Articles of Confederation, the nation's first constitution, had created a loose alliance of states with a weak central government. Congress couldn't tax, couldn't regulate trade, and couldn't enforce laws. States printed their own money, ignored national requests, and squabbled over borders. Shays' Rebellion in Massachusetts, violent uprising of farmers crushed by debts, had shaken the nation. Leaders like George Washington feared the republic would dissolve into chaos or fall back into monarchy. Enter James Madison, a quiet Virginian with sharp eyes and an even sharper mind. He arrived in Philadelphia weeks early, armed with notebooks, research, and a bold plan, the Virginia Plan. It proposed a strong national government with 3 branches: legislative, executive, and judicial, and a Congress with 2 chambers, both based on population. Bigger states like Virginia and Pennsylvania loved it. Smaller states, not so much. Delaware, New Jersey, and Connecticut feared being drowned out by the giants. William Paterson of New Jersey countered with his own proposal, the New Jersey Plan. It kept the one-house Congress of the Articles, where each state had 1 vote, equal power, regardless of size. For weeks, the debate raged. Tempers flared. Delegates threatened to walk out. Benjamin Franklin, now 81 and frail, urged compromise, reminding them that when you assemble a number of men, you inevitably assemble with them all their prejudices, their passions, their errors of opinion. Then came the breakthrough, the Great Compromise, also known as the Connecticut Compromise. Proposed by Roger Sherman, it blended both visions. The new Congress would have 2 houses, the House of Representatives, where seats were based on population-pleasing big states, and the Senate, where every state got to votes protecting the small ones. It was imperfect, but it worked. But another storm loomed: slavery. Southern states, whose economies depended on enslaved labor, demanded that slaves be counted toward population to boost their representation in Congress. Northern states, many of which had begun abolishing slavery, argued that if slaves weren't citizens, they shouldn't count at all. After tense negotiations, the delegates reached a 3/5 compromise. Each enslaved person would count as 3/5 of a person for both representation and taxation. It was a moral failure wrapped in political pragmatism, a stain on the document that would haunt the nation for generations. Meanwhile, the question of executive power sparked fierce debate. Some feared a president would become a king. Others worried a weak leader would repeat the failures of the Articles. Alexander Hamilton, ever the visionary of strong central authority, even suggested a president serving for life. In the end, they settled on a single, elected president, chosen indirectly through an electoral college system designed to balance popular will with elite judgment. The judiciary was simpler: a Supreme Court and lower courts, appointed for life to ensure independence. But even this raised eyebrows. Who would check the judges? The answer lay in the delicate system of checks and balances woven throughout the document. Each branch able to limit the others, preventing tyranny from taking root. Day after day, through stifling heat and buzzing flies, the delegates debated, revised, and rewrote. They argued over how often elections should be held, whether states could coin money, and whether the federal government should control the militia. Governor Morris, a gifted writer with a wooden leg and a silver tongue, was tasked with polishing the final language. His elegant phrasing gave the Constitution its enduring rhythm. We, the people of the United States. By mid-September, exhaustion and hope mingled in the hall. On September 17, 1787, 13 of the original 55 delegates signed the document. Not everyone agreed. Wand Randolph and George Mason of Virginia refused, citing the lack of a Bill of Rights. Elbridge Gerry of Massachusetts echoed their concerns. But most believed they had crafted something extraordinary. A living framework, flexible enough to adapt, yet strong enough to endure. The real battle, however, was just beginning. The Constitution wouldn't take effect until 9 states ratified it. What followed was a fierce public debate across newspapers, taverns, and town halls. Federalists like Madison, Hamilton, and John Jay wrote the Federalist Papers, *85 essays, defending the new system. Anti-Federalists warned of distant tyranny and lost liberties. In state conventions, farmers, merchants, and lawyers clashed over the meaning of freedom. Delaware ratified first, unanimously, in December 1787. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut followed quickly. But in key states like Massachusetts, Virginia, and New York, the fight was close. Only after Federalists promised to add a Bill of Rights did skeptics relent. By June 1788, New Hampshire became the 9th state to ratify, making the Constitution official. Still, without Virginia and New York, the largest and most influential states, the Union would be incomplete. Their eventual approval that summer sealed the deal. In April 1789, George Washington took the oath of office as the first president of the United States beneath the balcony of Federal Hall in New York City. The new government, born from secret meetings and soaring ideals, was finally alive. And that Bill of Rights. True to their word, Congress proposed 12 amendments in 1789. 10 were ratified by the states in 1791, guaranteeing freedoms of speech, religion, and assembly, and protecting against unreasonable searches and cruel punishment. These first 10 amendments didn't just appease critics, they became the soul of American liberty. The U.S. Constitution wasn't perfect. It protected slavery. It excluded women, Native Americans, and the poor from full participation. Yet it contained within it the tools for change amendments, courts, elections that would allow future generations to expand its promises. It has survived civil war, depression, and division because it was never meant to be carved in stone, but written in ink ready to be reinterpreted, challenged, and renewed. Today, that same document, signed in a quiet room in Philadelphia over 235 years ago, remains the oldest written national constitution still in use. It's been amended only 27 times, a testament to its resilience and wisdom. So the next time you hear "We the People," remember, those words emerged not from harmony, but from heated argument, painful compromise, and a shared belief that self-government, however messy, was worth the struggle. And there you have it, the dramatic, deeply human story behind the drafting of the U.S. Constitution in 1787. It wasn't just a meeting of minds. It was a gamble on the future, stitched together by visionaries who knew they were building something that might outlive them all. If you enjoyed this journey into America's founding moment, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a story. History isn't just what happened, it's what we choose to remember, learn from, and carry forward. Until next time, keep wondering, keep questioning, and keep telling stories. See you soon.